Hello? Holy shit.
Oh, no. What was that? No, what's that? What? Oh, like, somebody's calling me.
Oh, what the? Oh, shit. Oh, dude. Oh, double someone there.
In another part of the world, a group of friends found themselves in a situation just as tense, though under very different circumstances. Their story started simply with the group coming together to plan an upcoming workout routine. None of them expected that what followed would take a much darker turn. Days later, they headed out on a camping trip, hoping to get away and spend time in the quiet of the wilderness. They found what appeared to be a remote spot far from any signs of civilization and quickly set up their campsite for the night.
Shut up. Let me try to see if I can hear it. Bro, that sounds like some demonic stuff. Bro, if he gets closer, I'm out.
As darkness settled in, the silence was suddenly broken by a clear human voice calling from the trees no more than 20 feet away. The group froze, exchanging uneasy glances. Trying to ease the tension, one of them called back, but instead of a calm response,
Hey, yo, what's up?
I think we're good. Keep looking out.
a stream of aggressive shouting came from the unseen figure. The tone carried clear hostility, as if the campers had entered a place they weren't meant to be. The atmosphere shifted immediately from relaxed to tense.
Shut up, hold on. What happened? What happened?
Where's the knife? Knife.
I don't know. I don't think we have it.
We should be fine, but for our own safety, we should get out of here.
Realizing the seriousness of the situation, the group began packing up their belongings in silence. With every movement, their eyes scanned the surrounding darkness, expecting the stranger to appear at any moment. It remains unclear who the person was or why they reacted with such anger. It could have been someone protective of the area or someone trying to keep others away for unknown reasons. What do you think was in those woods that night? Just an angry individual or something far more dangerous? In an unusual attempt at stealth camping, one camper chose to spend the night on the roof of a restaurant. To avoid attracting attention, he dressed like a construction worker, hoping the disguise would allow him to blend in and carry out the plan unnoticed. But as he climbed onto the roof, he was surprised to discover someone else was already there.
Oh. Holy shit. You scared the crap. Yeah, I'm not a threat to you. I'm not gonna fuck with you or nothing. I swear, I'm Sam.
I'm Jay. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You work for the city?
No, I'm pretending to be a construction guy so I can...
The man introduced himself and said he had previously worked at the restaurant. He explained that he had been staying on the property for some time, and even mentioned that he planned to turn himself in to authorities within a few days.
Scared the living crap out of me, but I got all my stuff ready to go.
The encounter immediately unsettled the camper. What began as a simple and light-hearted idea quickly shifted into something far more uneasy. The man suggested he might be a wanted criminal, which only increased the sense of risk. Feeling uncomfortable, the camper decided to abandon the plan.
Ready to go. And, yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I don't know what to do here. Yeah, you're good.
And leave, despite already having food and supplies prepared for the night. The stranger's identity and true intentions remain unknown. It's unclear whether he was really a former employee going through a difficult time, or if there was something more concerning behind his claim of being wanted. If you had been in that situation, would you have stayed to learn more or left right away like he did? This footage comes from Night Encounters, a US-based channel that records late-night paranormal and unexplained events. Their investigations focus on real-time reactions to unsettling sounds, unusual visual glitches, and tense environments. On July 27, 2023, the team set up camp in a forest long rumored to be haunted.
Camping site is like somewhere there.
Yeah, as you can see, there's a big road going that way, and the road just ends over here.
Yeah, it's just like a forest area now.
Yeah.
Remember when we went there last time? What happened, bro?
Yeah, dude, I remember that.
Bro, there's a flashlight. Look. Where's that lamppost? Well.
Is that like, I don't know, is
But
that
it's
like
blurring.
a fence or something there?
Oh, wait. Oh, dude.
What?
There's somebody there.
Actually?
Bro. Oh, I can see somebody's walking.
Wait, give me the flash.
Somebody's walking there, bro. Oh, I swear. Oh, I swear I saw somebody. No, I swear I heard somebody.
Where?
Like right there, like walking. Oh no,
Dude, don't play.
bro, no, I'm not playing, bro. I swear, every time something I say, it's like 100%
Okay.
real. But the camera, it's so blurry right now.
Gotta do this. Dude, I remember this place being like super creepy because there was a trash bag or something there.
Yeah, and then we heard like laughing.
Yeah, exactly.
Not again this year, bro.
Do you hear that?
Like,
Yeah,
oh, bro. What was that? No, what's that?
What?
Bro, like snake hissing or something. Oh no, like right there.
Can't tell if it's a bird or not, but it's like nighttime, so why would there be like birds or something?
Boy, I haven't heard a bird in like an hour, I swear. This place always creeps me out.
I don't know. Let's try and keep going. I want to like something to happen for the video.
Yeah, but
again,
not something so crazy that we freaking, you know.
Yeah, but at the same time, we're actually out here.
Bro.
Turn the light. Wait. The noise came from there.
It's bro.
It could be the water. We're like right near a lake. There's like 50 meters and there's a lake.
I don't wanna be here,
There's
bro.
a grill. Someone has been grilling here. Wait, show this place. Yeah, there's a campfire place.
Somebody's calling me.
Oh, what the? Oh, shit. Oh, dude. Oh, that was someone there. Dude, wait, there's a turn off the... Oh, God. What the hell out there? Wait, stay here. Dude, there was a damn bike. Wait, give me it. Dude, the bike stopped.
What's the bike stop? Bro.
As they followed a rarely used road leading deeper into the trees, the atmosphere began to change. The night filled with disturbing sounds, laughter, hissing, shuffling, and the distant noise of a bicycle moving with no rider visible. Their cameras started to malfunction, and fog rolled in unexpectedly, increasing the tension.
Let's just go from there. Let's just walk for a little bit, okay?
Alright. That's so creepy, bro.
You know what we'll do actually?
What?
Let's just, since it is already, it's 3:09, we just go, we'll do the dead man's tag, or slash the devil's hide and seek. At 3 AM, pick up the camera. We'll pick up the camera when we find a spot we started at. So yeah, see you then. Are this recording?
Yep.
Okay. Pretty much, we start the ritual now.
Found the place, so.
Yeah, it's 3:19 actually. We were running around there because we saw some weird guys near the water.
Bro.
So yeah, that like creeped us really out. But pretty much gonna do the ritual called Dead Man's
Tag, bro.
Dead Man's Tag, or the Devil's Hide and Seek. Pretty much it works like this. We have to find a home place somewhere that we could like return to in case anything goes like super bad. We're gonna choose this tree over here.
Yep.
See if
Looks like Devil's Tree, man. Like
yeah,
we only have
it's
it
really
near the
creepy.
house.
Yeah, exactly. So now pretty much gonna put our hands on the tree, say some words, and then we'll have a countdown of how much?
60.
Let's do 60 seconds. We have 1 minute to hide. I think we'll go somewhere into the woods,
Yeah, like there.
and then creepy stuff should basically happen. And to end this ritual, we have to come back here, put our hand on the tree, and yell safe, then do another chant, okay? So yeah, let me pull out the chant in it real quick.
The group moved carefully, discussing whether to continue or turn back as the unease grew. At one point, they came across a small campsite and signs of recent human presence, a grill, a fire ring, and a bicycle that appeared to stop without explanation. Strange lights appeared in the distance, and sounds echoed from areas where nothing could be seen. Around 3 AM, the team began a ritual-style game called Devil's Hide and Seek, also known as Dead Man's Tag, using a marked tree as a designated safe point. Each member chose a hiding spot in the dark woods, while the others stayed near the tree. Unusual noises continued around them, and their cameras recorded intermittent glitches during the game. Nothing clearly revealed itself, But the rising tension combined with the technical issues and the heavy atmosphere turned the experience into something deeply unsettling. By morning, the group left shaken but unharmed. They reflected on the equipment malfunctions, the unexplained sounds, and the strong feeling of being watched. The night served as a reminder that in some places, it's not what you see that creates fear, it's what you can't explain. Footsteps with no source static interference on cameras and lights without origin can unsettle even experienced investigators. A mix of environmental factors, fog distant lights, traces of human activity, and technical issues can intensify fear. Group psychology also plays a role. When one person notices something unusual, others may begin to interpret unclear sounds or visual disturbances as something more. Whether the events were natural caused by people or something else entirely, the outcome was the same heightened tension and uncertainty. If you had been part of that group and your cameras started failing while you heard footsteps with no visible source, would you continue deeper into the woods or return to the marked tree and leave immediately? This story comes from Davies Dash, a Canadian YouTube creator known for wilderness camping, ultralight backpacking, and solo survival trips often filmed deep in the forests of southern Ontario. On June 7, 2025, Davey set out on a minimalist cowboy camping trip along a river, bringing only essential gear and planning to sleep under the open sky without a tent. What started as a quiet night in nature quickly turned into a dangerous encounter. By late evening, Davey had settled into his bedroll beside the water. The forest was calm, and with only his pack and sleeping setup, he expected a peaceful night. That calm was broken when he woke to the sound of footsteps nearby.
Do you need my light to help you get out of here?
No.
No? You know how to get out?
Would you mind just giving me a few minutes? I'm still in my sleeping bag.
Why are you in your sleeping bag? You knew there's somebody in a tent here. You knew that. Do you think they're going to feel comfortable falling asleep in the middle?
Well, that's where I was sleeping. Till the homeless man with two fucking goddamn fucking steel pipes come fucking walking into my camp about 10 feet away from me while I was sound asleep. Like, thank God I woke up. Before he actually like started battering me with those pipes. Because I'd be in a hell of a mess. I'd be in a hell of a mess right now. And so thankfully I woke up. But where there's one, there's many. I know that.
As he opened his eyes, he saw a man standing about 10 feet away, holding two steel pipes. The shock was immediate. Alone and far from help, Davey was suddenly face to face with someone whose intentions were unknown.
All right,
no, you wouldn't. Fair enough. Fair enough.
My apologies.
That's fair enough, mate.
My apologies. I will push on.
I already got a hold of fucking RCMP and told them to fucking get over here and deal with their shit. Because I'm sick of this fucking bullshit, mate.
No, that's the homeless guy. We'll deal with him later. Right now, let's just get out of here. He's all jibbed up or something. And one thing you can't do is trust a fucking gibber. So let's go. I have my bear spray on me. I have my fucking bear spray on me. Well, that's where I was sleeping.
The fear didn't end there. What unsettled him even more was the thought that others might be nearby, turning an already tense situation into something unpredictable. Choosing not to escalate, Davey packed up his gear and used his GPS to guide himself deeper into the forest away from the intruder. By moving to a new location,
It's not out of this motherfucker. But let's just have a seat. Let's just sit and calm down here for a second. Because I'm not a person that's easy to calm down. Yes, I know. I got my GPS on, tracker on. I know where I was. I know exactly what I did. And I know exactly what I didn't do that I feel like I should have done. But I didn't. So, anyways, let me get this bag off. Oh, sweetheart. No. You're brand new. I don't want scuffs on you this early in the game. Alright, guys. Well, there's the bag. There's the bag. Here's me sitting on a bench in the middle of nothing. Oh, coyotes are howling. Do you hear that? Alright, I need a second. Wow, I don't know if you can see this in the dark. This looks like there's some critters down in here. This. Well, I think this is home for the night. We'll just come out here just a little bit, give them a little bit of space, and I don't know what these lights are here. I don't know if that's a farm or whatever, but I'm thinking like right here is good. Right here. All right, my friends, well, camp is back set up again. So there's the bag, there's the sleeping setup, and again we have the two tethered together. That knife should be up for my use if I need it, but again, we're not out here for that shit, man. Anyways, there's the camp set up here in this, I know you can't see nothing, but I came back to the tree that is obviously hibernating some critters, you know. So there's the tree, and well, that's where the critters go, down in there. So we're right beside it. That's camp, still cowboy camping, but now it's, so that incident took place at like 11 o'clock, quarter to 11, and it is now, I don't know what you can see here, almost midnight. So it's time to get a few hours of sleep. Okay. And yeah, so yeah, I've calmed down on that incident. I still, like, inside me, I still think he needs his teeth kicked down his fucking throat. But we've moved on. We're in a better place. At least now I don't have to worry about some guy standing 10 feet away from me with two steel pipes, like, you know, like pipe fitting pipes, like for gas lines and stuff, you know, like that black iron pipes. That's what he had, two of them, one in each hand. So at least now I'm not worried about that. We can sleep peacefully and yeah, just enjoy our night. We just want to sleep outside, man. That's all we're trying to do. We're testing some gear and we just want to be outside. So
he avoided further confrontation and eventually set up camp again in a safer area. Although he made it through the night, the experience stayed with him as a reminder that not all danger in the wilderness comes from animals or weather. Sometimes the most unsettling threat is another person encountered in the dark. This situation highlights the risks of cowboy camping alone, especially near rivers or easily accessible locations. Unlike wildlife, which typically avoids people, the presence of strangers at night brings unpredictable danger. Davy's decision to quietly relocate instead of confronting the intruder may have prevented a much worse outcome. If you were in his place alone in the woods and suddenly confronted by a stranger in the dark, would you stay and hold your ground or move deeper into the forest to avoid the unknown? On June 11th, 2023, Trent the Traveler documented a chilling solo camping trip along Colorado's Phantom Canyon Road. Once a 19th century railroad route marked by mining accidents and violent labor conflicts, the road is now a quiet dirt path carved into steep canyon walls. As night falls, the weight of its history turns the scenic setting into something far more unsettling.
All right, finally got a fire going. I was worried there for a minute because it started raining and I was worried we wouldn't be able to hang out outside. But thankfully, the rain let up and we're here on this beautiful... So, let's tell some ghost stories. In the 1800s, this area, or this road that we drove in on, used to be a railroad system that connected Florence and Cripple Creek, Colorado. And supposedly in the 1890s, passengers aboard the train were traveling through this canyon and they saw a man walking along the train tracks in prison attire. Supposedly looked like a man that was previously executed. Now, a lot of the people that ended up in the Colorado State Penitentiary down in Canyon City or the jail in Cripple Creek, and they found themselves getting locked up for many reasons like public intoxication, theft, or even murder after a huge labor strike between the miners and the mine owners. These mining companies in this area wanted to increase the workdays without increasing the wages. And a lot of them walked off the job, leaving a lot of these mines to shut down. And that's when these mining companies started bringing in non-union workers to work in these mines so they could stay afloat, and that's when all hell broke loose. There were gunfights, train derailments, purposely collapsed mines with people in them, and at one point, 15 people were killed. Miners even bombed a train depot, killing 13 more non-union workers. But of course, it finally did eventually settle, but it's believed that this whole area between Canyon City, it's all incredibly haunted. And people that come here claim to see ghostly figures that look like prisoners or miners walking among this forest late at night. All by myself here in this forest. I thought I heard something moving over here. Freak. I'm on edge. Of course I am. I'm in a haunted forest, for crying out loud. I am going to put out this fire and go explore a little bit and see if we find or experience anything interesting. So let's go explore.
The unease begins with the realization that he is effectively camping on a gravesite, the location of a past sabotage that resulted in the deaths of 15 miners. That heavy atmosphere is suddenly broken when a sharp piercing sound cuts through the darkness, immediately triggering his survival instincts as he sits by the fire. The tension builds further when Trent enters a large stone tunnel where the silence of the canyon is replaced by something far harder to explain.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna sit here for a bit and just soak this all in. I think this tunnel is really, really cool. I keep hearing stuff, but I'm like 98% sure it's just the bats making weird noises. You know, something I've been asking myself when doing research about this place, what is it about these old mining towns that makes them so haunted? I know it was the Wild West, so there were a lot of gunfights, a lot of violence, and maybe that's it. In the paranormal community, apparently quartzite, the mineral, holds a lot of paranormal energy. And buildings or towns or places that are built upon large quartzite nodes. And I'm not quite sure the science behind that or why. And that's got me wondering, like, now, bear with me for a second. Maybe by digging into these mountains and mining all this ore, these tragic events or cause these people to do these bad things, and because there were a lot of like gruesome murders back then too. You know, I don't know if it's my mind playing tricks on me or not, but I definitely just heard singing, like distant singing. Okay, I know for a fact that the camera can pick it up. It is so faint that I'm like struggling to hear it. The sounds bouncing off the tunnel walls or what, but it literally sounds like people singing.
Inside the cold, stagnant air, a faint rhythmic sound resembling singing begins to echo through the passage, leaving him momentarily frozen in place. Even after returning to the van, the fear lingers, making him hyper-aware of every sound around him. In the end, the experience raises a difficult question. When daylight returns and every shadow fades, was the danger ever truly there? Or did the darkness simply change how everything was perceived? Have you ever felt a place reveal its past through silence? On January 16th, 2026, the YouTube channel Mark Travels, known for cinematic motorcycle journeys and thoughtful narration, documented a ride through rural Japan. Alongside his friends, Chris and V, Mark moved through quiet villages and mist-covered mountains. It was a calm, controlled experience until one section of road showed how quickly that sense of control can disappear. The steady rhythm of the ride begins to break the moment they leave the mapped route and enter a steep, neglected path. Even as Mark carefully inches downhill.
Really gotta love Japan, eh? Wow. Haha. All right, let's do this.
Yeah? You think? Well, we'll find out. Hey, let's try it. I should maybe change the mode into enduro. I think that's just suspension, right? Should be. It's probably a little bit softer. But yeah, street tires. No, but where is the road? I don't think it's a road here. Yeah, but it's very cool. Let's make a photo together. Is she scouting out the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to head back. Still worth it though. I knew it! I f***ing knew it! Shit.
The bike suddenly loses traction and drops within seconds, happening too quickly for any reaction to stop it.
Sorry bike. I knew it. I kinda fell. I saw it going down here and then I should have stayed on this side. I had no chance, like, there was no way I could hold it. I guess I smashed up the pannier quite good. Okay, let's pick it up.
After getting up unharmed, Mark realizes the cause wasn't rider error, but a hidden issue.
And that not really big damage. Well, one of my first like real falls, I guess. And that with the rental bike. But yeah, we'll be alright. We'll be fine.
Crash?
Yeah, I slipped there. I saw it happening because I noticed that it goes down here. It was on this side and then just, yeah, with these tires, it's like, I'm okay. Luckily I have gear. Yeah, like you can see here.
Wonder if we can find that lock.
There's a car coming now. Of course now there's a car coming. There was no cars the whole time. We're back on the road. Thank God for these crash bars. I'll have to pay for the pannier for sure. But the rest seems fine. My first fall in Japan. I have to be so careful here. I had it again 2 times, like the front, where it's crazy.
This is the last road we'll be on like this, bro.
Yeah, no, it's no worries.
I feel so fucking bad. I'm like, fuck, he's never gonna want to come back.
That just happened.
Okay.
Don't stress, man.
I was super worried.
No, man.
Well, I'm a big brother too, you know?
Yeah,
I
but
got
that's
2 little
okay,
brothers.
man. You see these tires, guys? They're not good anymore. Yeah, I was already talking about it the whole time that these tires feel very slippery. I guess it's because they're very old. Compound gets hard, so yeah, might have not been entirely my fault.
The rental tire was worn and hardened a problem that finally caught up with him on the slick mountain surface. The danger didn't come from speed, but from an unseen weakness in the equipment. Later, the seriousness of the road becomes clear when they pass an active accident scene where police carefully examine the ground and document the wreckage with precision. By evening, a hidden waterfall brings back a sense of calm, but the lesson remains: danger rarely comes from obvious risk, but from the quiet combination of worn gear and misplaced confidence. It leaves a question behind: when everything feels under control, what warning signs are we overlooking? And is the silence of the forest truly peaceful or hiding risks we can't see?